So it turns out getting Exeter City to the Champions League might be harder than expected. In fact, just keeping him in the league might be harder than expected. As it stands, we've played 20 games, we've got 16 points, and we're in 22nd place. As you can see on screen, we have played through quite a lot of this season since the last episode, which was the matches against Lincoln and Southampton at the top of the screen. Lincoln, in fact, has been one of our only wins of the season. We are quite good at drawing games, we're just not very good at winning them. And see lots and lots of red here. We did manage to get a win against MK Dons, a 1-0 win there. And we then won 6-3 against Derby County because, you know, if we're going to win a game, it needs lots and lots of goals. There were a couple of wins in here, but one of those is in the FA Cup. One of those is in the Papa John's trophy thing that we don't really care about. And other than that, there's not been a lot. We can see at the moment we're on a 4-game losing streak as well. We have started to score because for a long time scoring was an issue. Especially for Hector Ingram, who obviously we brought in to be one of our main strikers. It took him a long time to score. He's now got 11 goals in 18 appearances, which is quite good. But it did take him until this match in January for him to actually get a goal. It was the 6-3 win against Derby County. He then scored 4 on the trot because logic, I guess. We have, of course, as well had some new signings in. They joined shortly after the last episode. First of these was Ben Nelson, who is a centre-back on loan from Leicester. We're not paying a huge amount of his wages. In fact, we're not paying any of his wages. He is a very, very good talent we can see here at the moment. Rated as a Sky Bet League 1 standard player with the potential to be a Premier League player. So far, he's done okay, but nothing fantastic. The next player in was a permanent signing, Robbie Cundy. He's another centre-back. We purchased him for £59,000. Again, he's not having a bad season. He's just not having a great one. The assistant manager is saying he's a League 1 player with the potential to be a leading League 1 player. The next player in on a free transfer was Morris. He came over from previously Tranmere and then before that Walsall. He can play on either of these wings in various positions, either as an attacking winger or as just a run-of-the-mill left or right winger as well. Again, he is a League 1 player. He's unlikely to improve, but he is pretty decent. We then brought in Trevor Clark. We did pay a little bit of money for him at £24,000 to bring him over from Bristol Rovers. Again, we mainly purchased him because he can play all the way down this left flank as a left back, as a left wing back if ever we wanted to use that, and as a left midfielder. And he can do a job as an attacking left winger. We then brought in Kane Vincent-Young, mainly to play as our right back. A very, very good player by the looks of it. Sky Bet League 1 player. At the moment, as it stands, 4-star. We paid £45,000 for him, and so far he's had a really good average rating. There were 2 more signings after him, the first one of which is Jamie Soule. I've used him in a save before. I can't remember where. He might have been on loan in my Bath City save, if I remember correctly. As you can see, he's not actually scored a goal in the league yet, but he's mostly been coming on as a substitute. The main reason we brought him in is he could eventually become a Sky Bet League 1 player, and we got him on a free, and I quite like him, so I was hoping maybe he could be a bit of a rotation player. That might have been a bit of a miss-buy. And the last one to come in was Rory Holden. Again, we paid a little bit of money for him, £54,000 to bring him in from Port Vale. He can once again play through the centre here on either attacking wing or as a left or right midfielder. Very little has happened on the outside apart from Harry Kite has gone out on loan to Harrogate. At the moment, he's not having a particularly good time. All of this, our new signings and everything else going on, did lead us to change a tactic as well. We've got 3 here, but they're all basically the same thing, just an attacking, a normal and a defensive one of the tactic. It's a basic 4-4-2 with a couple of fullbacks, a couple of wingers and 2 players up front. We, though, are really, really struggling to do anything at all in the league. And today, it is the match against the big rivals. Today, nothing else matters. Previous form, all of that stuff goes out the window, as we know, when it is a local derby, and we really want to go and get one up against Plymouth Argyle. However, we are without some of our first team. Hector Ingram, who is our top goal scorer, is injured at the moment. Josh Key, who I'd love to be playing, has really not had a great season so far. That 6.71 probably doesn't tell the whole story. The 6.54 in the last 4 matches is a vast improvement over the last few matches. He had a long time where his average rating was about a 6.3. So with that said, we're going to go with the following lineup today. We've got Hudson in goal, Clark, Hartridge, Stubbs and Vincent Young. Our back four, our midfield four is Holden, Riley, Harper and Morris, and then we've got Sula and Nombe up front. Is it Sula or Sule? I feel like it should be Sule. I also feel like Morris should be an inverted winger, so I might actually go ahead and change him to an inverted winger. Holden really prefers to play on this side. We could put Sparks in there instead. In fact, I think that's probably what we do, so I'm just changing things on the fly here. If you do enjoy today's episode, of course, please do drop a like down below. It does really help get this series out to some new eyes. And if you haven't already and you could subscribe, it would be very, very much appreciated. If only to cheer me up as we get utterly battered again and again in this series. But for now, we turn our attention to the match against Plymouth Argyle. And can we get anything out of this match? That is the question today, because so far, as you saw in the league, there's really not been a lot to cheer about. Plymouth Argyle here on the counter-attack. We have managed to slide in and prevent that one from happening. Riley into Morris. He's been in good form. That one, though, not a brilliant shot. A good break into the box there from him, but then not a lot coming off of that one. It's a big launch forward from Cooper, who I think is he the Argyle goalkeeper in real life? He is, isn't he? He was particularly good when I've watched him in action. Obviously, as a Chelsea fan, I saw Argyle against Chelsea. I believe it was in the FA Cup last season. He was really, really good in that. Probably kept Argyle in it for a lot of the match. I'm surprised he's still actually at Plymouth. I would have thought maybe, no offence to Argyle, but a slightly bigger team might have come in for him by now. But enough praising Argyle as they score their first goal of the game. As I mentioned, this is going to be a harder challenge than I thought it was. I think we're up to the challenge. I don't know this is the formation that's going to do it, though. We've kind of flitted around a little bit. We had the 3-4-1-2 that we were playing. We then switched over for a little bit to a 4-2-3-1 just to see if that would do anything. It really, really didn't. It didn't help out at all. We're just very frail defensively, to be honest. Maybe the January transfer window can allow us to bring in some more players and maybe sort out those defensive frailties. But at the moment, we can score goals. But if you had a look, though, obviously on the results page at the start of the episode, you can kind of see the ones we are winning. We're still conceding a lot. Derby is a 6-3. I think we were 3-1 down at one point, and then we just sort of sprung into action. Sparks here at the far post is going to pull one back for us, though. Jack Sparks with his first goal of the season, and it is against Argyle. He knows what this means as a Plymouth lad. Oh, Kieran Morris, though, is tired already, and we're being advised to substitute him. I think we can probably see him through till half-time. A good finish there from Sparks. If we could have a little bit more of that, it would be very welcomed, please. Yeah, I think, though, like I said, the defensive frailties are what are costing us at the moment. I mean, if you look at this, we're well ahead on shots and XG, and that's happened a few times this season, and we've ended up losing the match just because we don't seem to be able to keep teams out defensively. We're very poor. That's a very strange start to a highlight, and it is going to result in a counter-attack here for Argyle. Can we put a stop to this one before it starts? Maybe we need to be keeping back another player on these corners and stuff, because I've seen this happen a few times lately where our corner has resulted in a counter-attack, or worse yet, a goal for the opposition. Not really what you want off your own set piece to go and concede yourself. It is going to be a corner here, though, for Argyle. All of that resulting from our own set piece. This is not really good enough. Can we clear this one? We can. It evades everyone, And somehow Argyle have made something of this. Morris going to trek back there, fulfill some sort of defensive duties. He is the best player on the pitch at the moment. We're going to need to substitute him. Grant here taking this corner for Argyle. It is cleared. Can we get to that ball first? We can't. But Sule there sliding in, trying to regain possession. He hasn't quite managed it though. We're asking a lot of him today. Obviously, a National League standard player. We're going, can you please play against the rivals? If you could chip in with a goal, that would be even better. Clark trying to launch a ball forward. It is fallen to Nombe, though. And he's going to completely miss the target there. We're going to have to make that substitution as well. Morris is going to have to come off. I think Rory Holden probably comes on. He sits all right as an inverted winger as well. So I am going to leave that like that, just with a thought that maybe the inverted winger cuts in and adds a third man to those front two. Vincent Young there, passing that one forward to Holden. Back to Vincent Young now. We are just holding the ball around the edge of the box. Riley going for a shot there. It was probably a bit of a poor choice, and nobody is going to even attempt to stop Miller here. We're going to let him run the absolute length of the pitch. That was a speculative shot from Plymouth, though, luckily for us, because that... if they played that one in, I've seen it a few times this season, and that is the sort of goals we do concede. I'm seeing a lot of tired feet on the pitch as well, so we probably need to have a quick look at that. Jack Sparks is playing well, so I don't really want to take him off. I think Sule comes off, and maybe do we bring on Giovanni Brown? Is that really our best option here? I mean, it probably is, which is a bit of a sad sentence. Guess we do that for the moment. It's neither. It's good. We'll just switch them out in that way, and we'll make another substitution in a minute. We're definitely suffering a little bit on the attack in front today. Hartridge with a big ball in. It's caused chaos, but it is cleared by Argyle, and now they are going to go for another counter-attack, stopped by Harper there. Lovely stuff. Clark now. Can he bring it forward? Can we get another goal here against Argyle? What a way to end our poor form if we can. It's a cross into the box. It's easily cleared once again. And once again, Argyle here just going to launch a counter-attack. We're not closing that down quite enough. We're not really... I mean, we're pressing. It's not very effective pressing. We're just kind of there, busy in ourselves, waving our hands around a little bit without really putting a tackle in here. Once again, we can see that cross into the box. It is saved the first time. It hits the post the second time, and it is eventually cleared. But we all make it look quite difficult. This does see us outside of the relegation spots, though, which is quite nice. We're going to make that final substitution. I think maybe we bring on Archie Collins here. Do we bring him on for Riley? Let's bring on for Callum Riley, because he's on a yellow card and tired. So that probably seems like a very sensible option for us. I'm not sure what that was there, that little flick up there by an Argyle player. Was that meant to be a throw-in for us? Who actually knows? We are coming towards the end of the match, though, with the score still 1-1. We've actually been the better team in this again. This is the problem. 18 shots, 51% possession. If we were finishing some of these, we'd be doing all right. Instead of that, it's yet another draw to our name. It's yet another one. We are draw specialists. It does pull us outside of the relegation zone, but we've got a game in hand on Mansfield, and it only does it on goal difference. That is very, very scary. We have got another game coming up in today's episode, of course. We have got to go away and face Barnsley in the FA Cup, but we're going to ignore that one. We're going to come back in a minute and face Bolton, and maybe we can actually see a win this season. Right, so we just lost 3-1 to Burnley in the FA Cup as well. So we're going to try something different, because we just got that dreaded email. You know, the one you get in FM where it turns around and goes, the fans are unhappy because the manager is unwilling to rotate his tactics or try something else or something along that lines. We got that one, which is basically Football Manager telling you need to change your tactic because that isn't working. So we're going to try a 4-2-3-1. As you can see, I've named it Exeter 4-2-3-1 Trial, which is very much what it is. This is going to be our lineup for today. We've got Hudson in goal, we've got Clark, Cundy, Stubbs and Vincent Young, Collins and Harper in midfield, Sparks, Holden, Morris and Hector Ingram up front. We haven't got Matt J because he's He's still not fully fit. He would normally be there instead of Holden. That's probably about the only thing we would change here. I was having a look as well because there was a couple of players I potentially wanted to maybe bring in because we're getting close to the January transfer window. But the problem with that is we can't offer them the wages because we've got sort of a wage cap within the league. I think it's going to be very much grin and bear it for the rest of the season. Hopefully get through this one because right now we are back in the relegation zone again. If we can get through the rest of this season, then maybe, just maybe, we can rebuild in the summer and actually get our way out of League One across the next 2 or 3 seasons. That's the plan anyway. Whether that actually works like that, something else. Hector Ingram there trying to pass that outright to Holden, not worked very well, has it? We need to press a little bit better as well. I think that's something that we're lacking a little bit. And we've just decided maybe with a 4-2-3-1, we had the 2 strikers. We had Matt J playing a lot of games up there next to Hector Ingram. That hasn't particularly worked because Matt J just completely stopped scoring. I wasn't really assisting a lot of goals either, so that hasn't quite worked. Maybe playing Matt J in his more natural position might help. Hector Ingram is through on goal here. Oh, it's gone horribly wrong for their goalkeeper. It's the scruffiest goal you're ever going to see on YouTube, but we're 100% going to take it. Oh, it's a goal. I don't care if it ricochets over off a flying plane that's taken off from Exeter. Or admittedly, we're in Bolton, but the analogy remains. I don't care how it goes in the back of the net. The fact is it's gone in the back of the net. Derby up there in 4th, just having a look because they're coming up soon. Bolton are in 8th at the moment. So we're playing against a higher mid-table sort of team today. Free kick for Bolton here. We've got lucky there, that one hitting the crossbar and bouncing back clear. Hudson, despite the amount of goals he's conceded as well, I really rate him as a goalkeeper because we could have conceded a lot more. I'll have a look in a minute, but his rating I think is probably actually pretty good, or at least it was at the start of the season. We've been saved again by the woodwork there. Oh, we are riding our luck here. Let me just have a look at Hudson a second because I've said it now, so we need to see. Yeah, his rating's not quite as good now. There was a long time where he was basically getting like 7 ratings just because he was saving so many goals. That's the thing with Football Manager as well, especially in FM22. I remember in FM21, goalkeepers could save 500 goals, keep a clean sheet and save 4 penalties and would still get like a 6 rating. Whereas in this installment, the ratings do seem to be a bit better because he was having to save so many shots. Even when he conceded a couple, he'd still actually get a good rating. I think Bolton are about to get a player sent off. They are. I know I sound really happy about that. There's a reason I sound really happy about that. We might be actually able to make this count. We're 1-0 up. If we can go and make this count now, that would be amazing and just get 3 points on the board. Clark here going to be taking this throw in shorts to Spark. Over to Stubbs, who doesn't manage to get it on target on that occasion. That was a very good opportunity for us as well. Let's have a look at Sparks. He's on a 6.4. That's not the best rating he could have, and Stubbs is looking tired as well. We are going to have to make a couple of substitutions here. Who do we take off? Stubbs, I think, probably comes off. We'll bring on Ben Nelson there. He's a very ample replacement. Rory Holding is looking a bit tired. Let's bring on Kyle Taylor there. I mentioned Kyle Taylor, obviously, at the start of this series as someone I wanted to play a bit. He hasn't been able to play that much in a 4-4-2 formation. So if we are going to play this, I think he's going to be all important as sort of a rotation squad player to come on and do those last 15 to 20 minutes. Harper has got his head to that one. Raheem Harper, the man on loan from Ipswich, has got our 2nd goal. We have made that red card count today, and that hopefully is 3 points on the board. It's very hard to tell though. The only thing with this is getting a red card. It's hard to tell if this tactic has made a difference and changing. I think it's one of those FM things as well. You change a tactic, it just starts working. It doesn't even matter if it's a good tactic really. I think it's the change a lot of the times that does it. Harper there trying to get a second goal off of that free kick. It is saved. It is going to go out for a corner. Should be flying in to the near post from Sparks here. It is into the nil post, and Ben Nelson, the substitute, has come on and added a third for us against Bolton. Lovely stuff. This is it. We're going to get a win in the league. It's all coming together. The comeback is on. We're going to get promoted. We're not going to get promoted. Let's not over exaggerate it. We're not getting promoted. If we manage to not get relegated this season, I think that's a good season. 3-0 up though. Let's put Jamie Soulé up there. We could change back to our defensive formation here. Everyone's kind of in position there. In fact, I think we do that just because if you look at the difference in intensity, I think at this point, with them down to 10 men, us 3-0 up, we just do it to save the legs of the players and just kind of regroup at the back, be a bit more compact, hopefully get a clean sheet. That would be lovely for Hudson. We are going to have a throw in here. We obviously haven't got Hartridge on the field, who is our throw-in taker because of his 16 throw-in, but we have managed to get another here. It is an own goal. But again, as I mentioned, we'll take them any way we can get them. It's 4-0 on the evening now. That red card made a massive difference. Fair play to Bolton. There's not really a lot they could do. We're a team that really, really needed a win. We've come here hungry and we've come and got it. And we've looked really good value for it. That red card definitely changed it. But 3 points on the board for Exeter City. Can we survive relegation? So after that win, we are just outside of the relegation zone on goal difference alone. Obviously, there's 4 teams that go down in this league, which is a lot. Look at that. Look at that lovely stuff. We went all the way up to 13th at one point, and then we just collapsed again. But we have got 3 points on the board. So could this now be the comeback we need? We had managed to go, what was that, 10 matches in a row without winning, and we have finally won a game in the league, and that is a fantastic way to end the episode. And of course, if you have enjoyed today's episode, please do drop a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the video that's on the screen now. Bye bye.